Hi, welcome. Hope Zvara here, and it's great to be back to the mat. I recently had a little baby, a boy, Ivan, about 8 weeks ago, and so I'm just getting back in the saddle with shooting some videos for you guys to enjoy. So I welcome you to practice today. Let's begin. Stepping to the top of your mat, find a nice mountain pose. Toes wide, feet rooted, pelvic neutral. So pubis bone, hip bones run parallel with the front wall. Lengthen through the spine, honoring all the curves. Now bend your knees, bend your elbows. Inhale, let your pelvis glide forward as you reach up and back, functional extension. Exhale, bend your knees and fall forward. Lengthening through the legs, honor the length of your spine. Try not to round through the back. Draw your knees to a position appropriate. Bend your knees, contract your pelvic floor, core pump, draw yourself up, extend back, exhale, hands to namaste. Inhale back into functional extension. And now reaching upright, neutral your pelvis, grab hold of your right wrist, I'll work mirror image. Bending off now, step your feet together, bend your left knee, draw the hips to the right as you reach to the left, side stretch. Watch that your pelvis doesn't tilt front or back, kind of going with your restriction. Try to meet that restriction head on. Breathe. And now contract the core back to center. Inhale, reach, functional extension. And now grabbing hold of the opposite wrist, bend off your right knee, draw the hips to the left, functional side stretch. Breathe into the space between the rib and the hip. And now back to center, strong core. Inhale, functional extension. Exhale, drop forward and down. Inhale, bend your knees, ground your hands, contract your pelvic floor and your deep core muscles. Lean into your hands, lift and jump the feet back, plank position. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Scapular push-up. Feel free to drop to the knees in a modified format if necessary. Tabletop will also be appropriate. Keeping the elbows long. Inhale, sink into the scapula. Exhale, pelvic core contracts, press back. Pelvic neutral. No saggy head. 5 more. Press into the fingertips. Knees to the floor, sit back, Baktasana, exhale. Work to breathe into the back body, honoring your neutral pelvis. Deep breath in, exhale, come up with a rounded spine into tabletop. Inhale, in tabletop, keeping your pelvis steady. Draw the left arm up to the sky. Open your heart, exhale, thread your needle, slide your right leg back. Square and level the hips. Again, trying to keep your pelvis steady, work with the spine. Pressing into the base arm, roll your chest open, really big scapular stretch. Breathe into the spaciousness necessary for the body. Now deep breath in, contract the core, exhale. Slowly extend your top arm up, pressing your bottom arm into the floor. Lift your back leg a few inches off the mat, broken table. Breathe. See if you can continue to square the floating hip down as you open the chest up. Really big spinal stretch here. Lower the leg, lower the arm, deep breath in, roll open through the heart. Exhale, feed the arm down. Bend your knees, bend your elbows. Inhale, functional cow. Pull back on the hands. Curl the toes under, keep the knees bent, core strong, lift into happy down dog. Stay lifted through the ribs, broad through the back. And try not to force the legs straight. Let's walk the dog. Again, honoring your body's uniqueness. back to tabletop. Back into functional cow pose. And functional cat. Lean back. Glide back to tabletop. Awesome. Inhale, bend and extend your right arm up. Open the heart. Exhale, slide into thread the needle as you feed your left leg back. Square the pelvis down. Again, to try to really get into that tightness. Pressing with the base arm, roll open as you continually square the floating hip down. Feel free to use a prop under the head. Let the head and neck are floating. Deep breathing. Inhale, top arm up, contract through the core, press through the bottom arm, lift the leg, breathe. Exhale, lower the leg, lower the arm, ground through the hips, roll open. And exhale, feed the arm down, bend your elbows, sweet on the spine. Functional cow, we're bending the elbows so the spine will actually move. Curl the toes under, pick up through the deep core, press back, down dog. Same thing again, focus on length in the spine and down dog rather than forcing the legs straight. Come high to the balls of the feet, roll through into plank. Step the legs together and firm up through the center line. Inhale, roll open onto the left palm, side plank. Feel free to take a knee or take the top foot to the floor. Exhale, bend and drop the top arm. 2 rounds of scapular push-up. And then roll to the opposite side. Lifting the hips, turn the fold of the bottom elbow towards the middle finger. Drop the top arm down. Whichever side was a little bit weaker, I want you to go back to that side. Inhale. Be sweet, even if it's variation, not exactly the same as what you did before. Bend and drop the top arm, drop to your knees, functional cow. Curl the toes under, either sit to your heels or draw again back into a happy down dog. Let's move 10 times into a down dog push-up. Now if you feel as though, stay in down dog. If you feel as though down dog push-up is too much for any reason, come into a tabletop or back into a plank and work with that scapular push-up. Again, where is your body working optimally? With wide fingertips, keeping the shape of down dog. Inhale, bend the elbows. Exhale, press back as though you're drawing up deeply and your core is optimally lifting you. Exhale on the push back, 5 more. Hike to the balls of the feet, roll through into plank, knees to the mat, sit back, Baktasana. Deep breath in, exhale, roll up through into tabletop, and come back, curling the toes under. Sit onto your heels. Now, if this is uncomfortable or challenging, feel free just to come to kneeling and curl the toes under. We all have different set joints. Our bones are all set differently. So as you stretch through the feet, draw your arms out in front, palms face in. Feel free to set a block between the hands or genie-style arms. Plug your shoulders back. Now with a deep pelvic core contraction, or maybe even holding onto a chair, lift the knees. Tiptoe balance, hands to prayer. Pressing your palms, feel the wideness of your lungs as you breathe in deeply. Woo! into the sides of the body. Again, this is my practice. Balance is always a good challenge. Feel the openness of the feet along with the openness of the lungs. Now drop your hands, drop your heels. Wiggle your sit bones free from all that tight fascia. Feel free to widen your knees to make room for the belly. As you sit back towards your heels, keep the intent of moving your body weight forward, stretching from your sit bone and tailbone to your forehead, but also stretching through the Achilles tendon and the lower part of the foot. Take a look at the feet and notice if they turn or collapse. Try to adjust that and notice if the stretch changes. Now breathe into your sit bones and back body. One of my favorite stretches. Deep breath in, draw back into forward fold, exhale, honoring the legs in order to honor the length of the spine. Again, we don't want to be here. Arms come back behind, grab a strap if necessary, nice little chest expander, focus on the openness of the shoulders. Lean forward towards the balls of the feet, take a look at the ankles, never collapsing. Exhale, release the arms down, bend your knees, contract your core like you're bouncing on a trampoline with your belly. 1, 2, 3, draw up, head never leads, inhale, exhale, hands to prayer. Come to the center of the mat. Finding a comfortable stance, open the feet to a comfortable legs length, somewhat of a straddle. Turn out with the left toes, in with the right, level your hips, and really use the outsides of the legs as you ground into the feet. Now drop into Warrior 2, honoring your stride as you work to keep neutral pelvis in a strong, deep pelvic floor contraction. Inhale, open the arms, dropping your shoulders. Feel free to turn the palms up to checkpoint that drop. Now press into your feet as you engage the legs. Feel that upward pull of energy. Breathe. Right lung pulls open. Deep core supports the natural curves of the spine. Now lengthen through the front leg, keeping the front quadriceps strong, never grounding or locking the leg. Really use the ball and the heel of that front foot to press in and engage. That's going to be the key to supporting that knee. Now let the pelvis shift as you contract the lower glutes, keeping the pelvis from falling forward. Move into Trikonasana, really stretching that inner leg line. Contract the top hip down and back. Tuck the top arm to ensure maximum openness in the chest. Think of this pose like a twist. Now if there's pinching in the lower front hip or kind of that upper glute oblique area, you're tipping forward. Try almost thinking of a posterior tilt. Now turn open, looking anywhere comfortable for the neck. Blocks are encouraged. Keep the chest rolling open. Breathe. Press heavy through the back heel. Exhale, release the top arm down, turn the feet parallel, grounding through the feet, engage the backs of the legs, standing straddle, forward bend. Not to flare the sit bones, hug the sit bones together, back into a chest expander if that treats you appropriately. Play with palm position in order to change the stretch on the shoulders. Arms to the floor, bend your knees, roll up again, not leading with the head, lead with the core. Engage your legs, functional extension. Exhale, hands to prayer. Open the arms, let's turn to the right, feet turn, level your hips as you bend the front knee. Nice hip opener, watching not to tip the pelvis forward, really work to contract. Strong breathing, rotate the head fully over the front arm. Be fully present here. deep internal core power. Lengthen through the front leg, root through the foot, never locking the knee. Let the pelvis tip, but never forward. Come down into Trikonasana. Using that block as necessary. No internal rotation on the front knee. Draw the top arm back, but take the lung width. Slide the arm behind. Maybe your arms are long enough to grab for the thigh. I have a little bit longer arms. But focus on that top shoulder. Notice if it's rotating forward. Really try to play with that kyphosis and open it up. Contracting up and in on the core, down on the lower back. Take a look at the front leg, no rolling out onto the outer edge of the foot. Strong legs, strong breath, strong core power. And now if you haven't watched some of my other videos, I have tons of videos up in regards to really understanding the core and that true contraction. I want to encourage you to watch those to have a better understanding of that language. And now top arm comes up and feeds down, bend the front knee, step up, standing forward bend. Bend your knees, step back with the left foot, runner's lunge. Bend your back knee, roll yourself up, level and square the hips into a high lunge. Nice long back leg without locking the knee. The tighter the pelvis into lordosis, the more the back knee needs to be bent. Now hug your hips square, bend and extend, interlace your fingers, turn your palms up as you drop your shoulders down. Breathe. Strong rooted front foot, strong breath. Lift your lungs. Lengthen your lower back. Exhale, hands to prayer. Turn into a high squat. Here the feet are going to turn open. Engage the outer lower leg. Contract the pelvic floor and sink into your hips. Now deep breath in, pressing your palms. Lift your heels for a little balance. Exhale, lower the heels. Let's turn to the left. Level and square your hips. Really take that time. No exaggerated lordosis. Interlace the fingers, drop your shoulders, broaden your upper back. Root your front foot. Exhale, hands to prayer, back into high squat. Watching the knees. Now if you are tighter in the hips and the knees are collapsing, please turn the feet more forward. Left forearm to the left thigh, strong pelvic core. Extend, bend and extend the top arm as you drop the shoulder, roll the chest open. Again, strong lower belly, not to protrude the bottom of the rib cage. Back to center, let's go cactus arms. Lower that arm down. Now as my chest turns open, my bottom arm does not shoot forward. Top arm rolls in as I roll open. Breathe. And exhale back into cactus arms. Inhale, stand tall, feet parallel. Walk the feet together. With feet rooted, bend your knees. Functional extension. Exhale, hands to prayer. Take a step to the middle of the mat, toes wide, engage your legs. Inhale, high to the balls of the feet. Down slow, tiptoe balance. Whoa, lose my balance. Press your palms, be tall, and be full of breath. Down into heel squat. Feel free to widen your feet. Now drop to the floor, Baddha Konasana, bound angle. Rule of thumb, if you're a little bit tighter in the hips, draw your heels more forward. The goal is not to bring your heels to your pubis bone. The goal is to feel openness with an external rotation on your thighs and a long spine. Never pulling on the toes. Release your shoulders. Breathe. Now deep breath in, breathe wide into your lungs. Feel the stretch of the back of the neck. Full rotation of the head to the left. Feel the right shoulder pull back. No tipping the head. Turn the eyes the rest of the way. Back to center, deep breath in. And rotate, exhale. Again, no tipping the head. Draw back with the left shoulder. Look with the eyes. And then back to center, deep breath in. Exhale, hinging from the hip. Really focus on that hinge. The second you start to fold in the rib cage, you're too far. A misconception, ultimately, a lot of times in a forward bend, especially seated, is we're so tight in the upper back that when we do round through the rib cage, we feel a stretch, but it's really because those muscles in the upper back are overstretched already and strained, and that's the pull that we feel. But what happens is the upper back stays overstretched and weak, and the lower back continuously stays tight. So focus on kind of a little bit of less is more in a sense, but lengthening through the front body and just slowly working your way down towards that fold. The reality may be more of you sit too much during the day as well. And then slowly, strong core, move back up. Draw out with the left leg. Sole of the right foot comes to the inner thigh. Pelvis stays forward. Hips and sit bones stay rooted throughout. Now, deep breath in. If you need to, prop the knee or prop the sit bones. Let's turn to the right without dropping the belly forward. Keep neutral pelvis. Hand to thigh, opposite hand behind. Inhale, twisting from the bottom to the top of the spine. Try not to just yank and pull. Inhale to expand, exhale to complete. Now with your back arm just a few more inches away from your hip, inhale, deep breath in, rock to the head of the bent knee, draw your pelvis forward, slide your free arm over your face as you open. Press into all 5 knuckles of the base arm. Exhale, roll down. Bottoms of the feet together, sit tall. Again, no arching forward. Old habits die hard. Pelvis forward. Watch not to go into that superlordosis here. Sitting tall, turn from the top of your pelvis. Now if you're tighter, that means you're not going to go as far, but you're twisting and stretching where you need to stretch, rather than overstretching the overstretched areas and avoiding those tight areas. Now deep breath in, we're not projecting forward. Almost in a sense, really keeping the core strong. Feel the lower vertebrae turn. Feel the mid, back, and bottom ribs turn. Feel the shoulder blades turn. Finally, the head, neck, and eyes. Breathe confidently. Backhand walks a few more inches back. Strong core. Imagine moving your tail towards the wall that you're facing. Top arm swoops around. Open through the chest. No forcing. Exhale, top arm swipes down. Back to center. Nice job. Bottoms of the feet together. Realign. And then exhale, bring the knees together, turn to the length of your mat, and roll yourself back. Knees into the chest, rock against the mat on your back. We tend to sit and lay on things that are way too cushiony, over padded, not allowing our body, our joints, our bones, our tissues to really operate in an optimal way. Another reason why we practice yoga barefoot and on a hard floor. So just massaging the lower back. When is the last time you were really sweet to your body? Open the feet to the width of the mat, maybe even a step wider. Neutral pelvis, slide the arms open. Let's just windshield wiper the legs. Inward falling knee gently presses, a nice arc. And then back through center, inward knee presses, nice arc, possibly a nice inner thigh stretch. And so just a few times each way. Again, we're not forcing, we're just encouraging the pelvis and inner thigh stretch. This is great for the lower back. This is a great before I go to bed stretch. And if one side is a little tighter, let's just end on that side with a couple extra breaths. Back to center. Steeple the knees, constructive rest pose. If that's uncomfortable, go into Shavasana. Arms bend and extend overhead. We'll take a few minutes resting here. Focus on a deep inhalation and a deep exhalation. Really allowing your body to relax fully. Feel free to remain in Shavasana for as long as you feel comfortable. And when you're ready, knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs. Feel the movement again of the sit bones against its tissues. Rock to one side. Please use your top hand for help. Rolling yourself up. Bring yourself to center. Sitting tall, rooted in your sit bones. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you for practicing with me. Until I see you again, which I hope is soon. From my heart to yours, from my soul to yours. Namaste.